So, Mr. Cubas is back, baby. Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm wearing this fancy shirt, it's to show you how special UFC 254 really was. And even though I am bare feet and wearing shorts, you can't see that. So, as far as you're aware, I'm wearing fancy clothes to honor this awesome event. Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a vacant lightweight belt. Who saw that one coming? And be honest with me, were you crying at the end when Khabib finally got the chance to relieve his emotions about the passing of his father and everything? And yeah, when he relinquished his belt, how did you feel? It really was an emotional night of fights. Definitely worth the hype, worth the wait. It really delivered. So let's start with the less talked fights, which were still really awesome. And at first, I thought that this event was going to rely on the main and co-main events, which most people thought would be incredible. But as it turns out, it had other really cool fights, even though obviously everyone were focused about Khabib and Gaethje, some about Whittaker and Cannonier, but yeah, as it turns out, there were other awesome fights, like Taito Ivasa versus the skyscraper Stefan Struve. That was a sick fight. That was a great performance by Tuivasa. I'm pretty sure he's had some lessons from Cormier. Cormier has been helping him coming into this fight. So, as you can see from his improved wrestling, he was more motivated than ever, which makes sense because, as he said it himself, he was fighting for the chance to stay in the UFC. Either, he's had to go to another promotion or something. At least that's what he had in his mind, which makes sense why he was so motivated, so focused, and so on point. Which also makes you wonder how well is he going to perform in his next fight. But thankfully he broke the losing streak, and hopefully it'll be a long winning streak from now on. Then Magomed Ankalaev won against Ian Cutelaba, and he did so with zero controversy, like the first fight. And yeah, Cutelaba wasn't able to play possum the way he did in the first fight because of what happened, and because Ankalaev is finally aware of this strategy. And Ian wanted for Magomed to overcommit in the first fight, to be more aggressive, to engage, and obviously he wanted the same thing to happen in this fight, but he, as I said, he couldn't play possum. He couldn't pretend that he was more hurt than he actually was. Ankalaev was really cautious. When he saw the opening, he went for it. He got the TKO. It was a great performance by both fighters, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm just excited to see what the light heavyweight division has to offer. And Ankalaev is definitely a new prospect in that division. Definitely a awesome contender. Then Alexander Volkov faced Walt Harris. He won by TKO in round 2, I'm pretty sure, with a body kick. And yeah, it started with a body shot. Then he let his hands loose. And at the end of the round 1, I kind of was afraid that this fight was going to go the way Volkov versus Derek Lewis went, where Derek Lewis was kind of, as I talked about, playing possum and seemed more hurt than he actually was. And yeah, the same way Walt Harris was kind of walking slow, being really, it seemed like he was tired, even though he wasn't that much tired. It wouldn't make sense. In his previous fight, he used way more energy. But yeah, I had the fear that Volkov was going to overcommit and get knocked out. And I'm really glad that at the end of round 1, even I thought that he was going to finish Harris, But when I saw the replay in slow motion, then I saw that most of the shots were actually blocked and none of them landed flush. So I'm really happy that Volkov didn't try to go for the finish at the end of round 1. And yeah, just made the fight awesome. I really see Alexander being a great contender in the heavyweight division. He had some setbacks, but I feel like he's on a good track, and he's more strategic than ever before. He's more skillful than ever before. I really think he has a lot to offer in that division. Then let's go to the co-main event, Whittaker versus Cannonier. And yeah, as I said, I'm the Mystic Cubas is back. I did predict Whittaker to win, but damn, Cannonier looks like a tank. Like even when I saw, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have picked Whittaker just how intimidating Cannonier looks. But both fighters fought a great fight. Cannonier landed awesome leg kicks, very few shots to the head, which the one that landed actually knocked Whittaker down. But the rest of the fight was won by Whittaker, and quite dominantly. Coming into the fight, actually, Whittaker's mind, for me, seemed more clear, more relaxed, more refreshed than Cannonier's, just from listening to the interviews. And yeah, there weren't 0 takedowns by either fighter, no fakes of going to the ground, and that would be interesting, but obviously you don't need that for it to be an awesome fight. Yeah, it was an awesome performance by both fighters, and I'm excited to see what Whittaker does from after this fight. Probably face Izzy, but we'll see, and what Cannonier as well. Now let's talk about the main event, the big boys, Khabib versus Gaethje. And okay, now I'll tell you a little secret. I like to gamble. I like to bet on fights. One might say even have a problem. That said, I utilize a win-win strategy. First I make a YouTube video saying who I think is going to win. Then I bet on the opposite guy. Therefore, it's a win-win in either situation. And as I said earlier, I did predict Khabib to win. So you can guess what happened to my money. Nevertheless, it was an awesome fight. It was a great performance by both fighters, to be honest. And the ending was, it was definitely unexpected, but it made sense. It was extremely emotional, and it was a great way to finish the whole night of fights. I definitely didn't expect Khabib to end his career at 29-0, but as you sort of think about it, as you see from his reaction, it's definitely the most reasonable thing to do for him, for his career, for his legacy, and everything. So actually, one of the latest talking points coming into the fight was the fact that Gaethje is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt at best. And I don't even know why more people weren't talking about this, why I didn't really pick up on it, which was crucial for this fight. And yeah, we saw throughout Khabib's career, we saw very little him on his back, but as it turns out, he's awesome off of his back. The transitions were amazing. It was just an awesome performance. And Gaethje did land the 4 kicks that he said. He said he was going to land 4 leg kicks on Khabib. He's going to be compromised, and he's not going to go for the takedowns as efficiently as he usually does. But as it turns out, Khabib wasn't phased that much. Not by the punches, not by the kicks. He was focused. At some points, I was like, damn, Khabib looks mad for some reason. It was an awesome fight. I could score the first round for Justin, but it was close. And at the end of round 1, when I saw Khabib take Justin down, I thought that was probably Gaethje's strategy, just thinking like, okay, I won the rest of the round. I'm not gonna exert any more energy, just gonna wait it out till round 2, which I thought was smart. But in round 2, it wasn't definitely not a strategic choice to get taken down, and especially as easily as he was, which that was super surprising. The question as to how generally powerful Khabib is, because to say that Gaethje is bad at wrestling, like that wouldn't be fair. And yeah, just the strength and the technique of Khabib is like you just can't handle that kind of skill set. No fighter can. And it was awesome that the fights were relatively early, as I'm from Eastern Europe. I didn't have to stay till 7 a.m. to watch all the fights. That was, yeah, I appreciate that one. Well done, UFC. And yeah, just amazing performances by all of the fighters in the main card and in the rest of the event. What do you think is next for these guys? I'm pretty sure, as I said, Izzy should face Whittaker next. That's the fight that makes the most sense for both of these fighters. Cannonier can fight the winner of, the loser of Till versus Hermansen, or he doesn't seem too hurt, so he probably can go face Costa right now. That's an incredibly awesome fight. That both of them are incredibly strong, incredibly, the techniques are really. It would just make an awesome fight. The fans would really appreciate it. I certainly would. I'm 9% confident that Khabib is actually retired, but I still would love to see him do something like a grappling match or an exhibition fight against Tony Ferguson. I know a lot of people are talking about him and GSP. Obviously, that would be an incredible fight. But yeah, I'm just, I don't know if I'm a homer for Tony, but I really want to see these two battle out in some fashion. As I said, it doesn't have to be a UFC fight. I would actually prefer it if it wasn't, because I respect Khabib's decision. It was definitely the smartest thing for him to do. And just some collaboration, doesn't even have to be a fight. I don't know what exactly, but with either one of these, either Khabib and Tony or Khabib and GSP. A man can dream. As Gaethje said it himself, he's not injured. He's kind of glad he got choked out, just because there's no long-term damage to him, so he can fight pretty soon. And Michael Chandler is ready. He just made weight to replace either one of these fighters. So if both of these guys battle it out, that makes a ton of sense. And then they can face the winner of Poirier versus McGregor, if that fight actually happens. Dustin versus Cannonier could be for the vacant belt. That would make some sense. But I feel like if UFC actually did like a mini tournament, what I mean by that is the winner of Chandler versus Gaethje facing against the winner of Conor versus Dustin. You can put all of them on one in one event. That would be sick, and it would really legitimize the final champion. Even though, yeah, Dana White doesn't appreciate the fact that for a while now, every single lightweight champ, the talking points that'll come out will be like, he's good, but he's, Khabib's twice as good as him. And that's not really good for the promotion. So if you did do this tournament, at least fans would still use these talking points. They will still say this stuff, but at least they'll know, well, that's the best UFC has to offer. And tournaments are awesome, so why not just put all of them in one card and have everyone battle each other out. And so that's what I think makes the most sense for the fighters, for the fans, and for the UFC. That's it for today, folks. this was a crazy night of fights, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.